Welcome to another episode of Technical Earth Syndicate. We're not the podcast you need right now, but we're the one you deserve. I'm Michael Buffington.
And I'm Chris Stewart.
And this is episode 39 for March 28, 2014.
Woo!
Woo! Boom, we got a podcast. Wait. we're on a podcast?
I think so. Isn't that what this is that we've been doing for 2 years? Almost?
No, man. It's virtual reality because that's what we're talking about on Topic Attack today. On Alan's Tech Corner, we're going to be talking about 3D printed houses. Say what? Stay tuned, guys.
All right, Mike, what have you been up to in the last couple of weeks since our previous episode?
I was staring at my computer, waiting for us to record another one.
Oh, it sounds pretty boring.
Yeah, I didn't do too much. I kind of wish I did a lot because there's a lot of cool games that came out that I should have picked up. Like Metal Gear Solid 5. What's the?
I think
the
Infamous came out too.
Infamous, Second Son.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I could have played those. And Diablo 3, Reaper of what Souls?
Yeah.
I think all three of those games came out, and I swear to God, I did not play them. I'm a liar.
You're lying. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a big old liar. Yeah. After our podcast ended last week, I was waiting for my copy of Metal Gear Solid 5. What was this one called?
Ground Zeroes.
Ground Zeroes. Yeah, that's what it is. I actually spaced that because it's so goddamn short. No, but it is short, but it's still a really fun game, and I've gotten a lot of gameplay out of it. I think I've dumped like 4 hours into it. That doesn't sound a lot, but I really haven't been playing it a whole lot because shortly after that, a few days later, Infamous Second Son came out, and oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
Yeah, I really want to pick it up, but I still need to beat the second one.
Beat the second one. I think you could play this without playing any of the other Infamouses, but I really recommend playing the second one at least. And actually in the first one, but you've already played that. Yeah. It's way after Infamous 2, but it still has a lot of people in it and backstory of everything. Since you haven't beat Infamous 2, I'm not really gonna spoil anything for you.
Yeah.
So I'm
basically,
not really.
Mostly though, it's just a bunch of like references and stuff that you probably wouldn't pick up if you hadn't played the other games.
Maybe I haven't got incredibly too far in it, but man, it's pretty. It's definitely a next generation game for the consoles.
Yeah, you can really tell with like I keep seeing people saying, "Oh, it's not that much of an upgrade between the PS3 and 4." But it really depends on the game, from what I've noticed. Like the Infamous and Killzones, the ones that are specifically for PS4, you can definitely tell a difference.
Killzone,
as opposed to like the Call of Duty and stuff.
Yeah, Killzone was very pretty. May have not been a great game, but it was very pretty. The Killzone Shadowfall. Yeah. And then Infamous, you can tell, man, 1080p, it's shiny, it's laced with anti-aliasing. It's awesome, dude. I mean, you can see details on bricks. I mean, that's something consoles really couldn't do before. That extra texturing. PC's been able to do it for a very long time, but you don't see it very often, and it's a very pretty game. Now, I haven't seen any hiccups other than one time. I think today, my game froze, and it kind of sucked. I was about to save, and it froze. I was like, dang it.
Mm.
but I don't. I think it was a glitch or something. I don't know what it was, but with these big open world games, it's hard for them to catch everything.
Yeah.
Um, but it is definitely a great game, and I recommend if you're a fan of the series to pick it up. Metal Gear Solid 5 Ground Zeroes. A lot of people were giving this game a lot of shit, I want to say, because of how short it is, but there's a lot of replay value with it. I've been really dumping some time into it, and there's a lot of unlocks, there's a lot of hidden things, there's audio messages you have to find, there's different ways you can play. You can steal a truck, Grand Theft Auto style, uh, and get away. And there's all these other little challenges that you can do that are really fun. And right now I'm trying to work my way up to unlocking the Deja Vu mission, where you play as a classic Snake from Metal Gear Solid on PlayStation 1.
Yeah,
And
that's got
he's
PS1 graphics on it.
yeah, he's all pixelated, and it's so funny, dude. So I've seen some videos and screenshots of it, and I'm like, I can't wait to unlock this mode. And there's a lot of stuff into it. It is a huge tech demo, honestly, though, for the PlayStation 4, and also what we're going to be getting in the real game, Metal Gear Solid 5, the
Phantom Pain.
Pain, yeah.
Yeah.
Dang it, why couldn't they just call it Metal Gear Solid 5? No, but it's definitely a big tech demo, and I wouldn't say it's I could say it's like a demo for Metal Gear Solid 5, but it's not, because it adds extra storyline. It kind of gets you set up for the next game. And I mean, they said the next game's going to be as long as Metal Gear Solid 4. So, I mean, that's going to be good,
Doesn't
this
your save data from that, and like weapons or whatever you might have, transfer over to the Phantom Pain when it comes out?
When you unlock everything, I think something I can't even talk tonight. Something transfers over. I'm not too sure what it is, but something does. And then other than that, we both, I guess we could kind of both talk about this. We both got into the beta. Well, you at the very butt end of it, but
Yeah.
we played WildStar.
Yes.
And a lot of people, you may not, whoever's listening to this, you may not know what WildStar is. It is an MMORPG, and it is almost like World of Warcraft, but science fiction. I don't really know how to explain it other than that. And if you like WoW, then you might enjoy this, but this is definitely 10 times better than WoW will ever be. I'm sure the content in WoW is there, because it's such an old game now. But this has a possibility of, I wouldn't say a WoW killer, but a WoW replacement for the current generation of MMOs.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you pre-ordered it shortly after playing the beta, didn't you?
I actually did, and I was pretty surprised at doing that myself, because I don't usually get too excited for MMOs. It's pretty rare. Like, I think the last one was probably Final Fantasy 14.
Right.
Well, the remake of that.
Yeah.
And I think Guild Wars 2 was before that. But yeah, I think this is probably the first time I've actually pre-ordered an MMO.
It's bizarre and fun. It's comical. It has a serious storyline with the lore, kind of like, this is what reminds me of WoW. It, like, how WoW had the very comedy-driven gameplay sometimes, and the quest and everything like that.
Yeah.
That's what this has, but then it has this, lore in it as well, and this backstory that you can get during the missions and the main quest line and everything like that, and it's really cool. And they've promised to give you, everyone that's playing this, when you pick it up in June, that's going to have a bunch of in-game content. It's going to be, they're going to keep on adding to it. And a lot of companies promise this when they come out with their MMOs and they never deliver. I think this one actually will.
Yeah.
It's
the same. I don't know if it's the same developers, but it's the same company as Guild Wars 2, the NCSoft.
NCSoft, but some of the key developers of our buddy TL was talking about this on one of these developer conferences or something like that. A couple of the members of it are from the original World of Warcraft team, and that's why it has some similarities with the World of Warcraft.
Yeah, you can definitely see it, like the way it's kind of what would you call it? Like the art style is kind of like whimsical, I guess.
Cartoony,
It's
yeah, yeah. It's what other people have tried, but without straining the graphics and oh, you're gonna have to upgrade your system. If you can play WoW right now, you could probably play this game.
yeah.
I know some people have been having some issues, but it's a beta, so we'll see how that carries out.
Shoot, if you could play WoW probably 5-6 years ago, you could probably still play this.
There are some beefier graphics to this. It's like mostly the textures, so I don't know about that. But definitely, if you're playing WoW currently or from the past couple of years and have a decent video card, you probably could play this.
Yeah.
But that's one thing. It's universal. It's every MMO that comes out is not universal, and they're like, oh, this game looks realistic and it's so amazing looking. That's why WoW succeeded so long, because they've gone away with not having to change their engine too much, but to make it look a little bit prettier, and having anybody that owns a cheap video card or computer from the past 2 or 3 years, they can still play it,
Yeah.
And I think this is what this game is going for as well. And I mean, don't get me wrong, it looks awesome, but it's definitely not top of the line like some of the other MMOs that we've seen recently,
Yeah.
but it doesn't change out the fact that there's awesome gameplay and good, fun. It's just
Oh, yeah.
pure fun.
The combat I really enjoyed. It's very action based. It's
Mhm.
not push a button and sit there and watch the fight happen. You're pretty active in it. You gotta pay attention to what's going on, and
You can
click
dodge out of the
buttons.
way.
You can dodge,
Yeah.
and your enemies, when they attack, they'll have like a cone of effect, I guess is what you would call it, is where their attack is going to be, and you have to like dodge out of that to
Yeah.
avoid the attacks, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm sure whenever we play a couple more betas before release, we'll have a topic attack just about this game, honestly. I'm guaranteed that's going to happen. So look forward to that. Other than that, Chris, I'm done talking about what I wanted to talk about. What have you been playing other than, the WildStar segment, or that one day you got to play it?
Last weekend, I think it was last weekend, we teamed up with Greg from First World Podcast and ran him through a good bit of Act 1
of Diablo. Yeah.
Diablo 3, yeah.
Yep.
And that was a pretty good time, just hilarious. We were just, what level was he? He was pretty low. It was like 20 something.
Something like that. But
Yeah.
we jumped into our 60s.
We were max level and like level 10 or 12 in our Paragon levels, and we were just wrecking stuff. And he was playing on normal mode too, so it was just extra hilarious. I'd be teleporting you with my wizard and just death beaming everything. And
we did bump it up to hard, I believe, because it was getting too ridiculously easy. But it was just funny, just one-shotting everything.
Yeah, I wanted to see if my what's it called, my Hydra could really quickly kill the butcher. But you guys were like, no, you didn't want to do that. We want to get the achievement for, not getting hit by the fire or whatever it was. And so I was like, fine.
It didn't matter. It just the butcher got hit once and he died.
I went Archon and just blasted it, and he died in like a second and a half. It was just hilarious.
Oh man. So
Good
yeah,
times.
we've been playing a lot of Diablo 3, honestly, this whole past week.
Pretty much just getting ready for Reaper, I think.
Yeah, I was like level 30s with 2 of my characters, and I have 2 characters that are level 60 plus now, because I've been playing the new expansion. And next podcast I'll probably be talking a little bit about Diablo 3 Reaper Souls. But oh man,
yeah,
addicted to that. What else you been playing?
Besides that, I've been playing a lot of Dragon's Crown still. I finally figured out how to get the talismans.
Oh, okay. I haven't touched that game in a while.
You need to. It's fun. But
I have too many video games, Chris.
We all do. But once you get to where you have to start getting talismans, you'll when you go to the levels up to a certain point, you'll have like a branching path, and you'll have the normal path you went to earlier, and then you'll have the second one with like a harder boss at the end. You have to beat that boss in that second path to get the talismans.
So have you beat the game yet, or no?
No, not yet. I've got 6 more talismans I think I need to get.
So there's a lot of replay value and also length to the game, isn't there?
Yeah, and I'm real tempted to start trying another class, because all those other ones, and I've been wanting to play the sorceress for a little while.
Now I'm curious. When we decided to play multiplayer with the extra class that we play, or another character, will our multiplayer be locked for that as well? and we have to earn it.
Uh,
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, I might have to test that theory. I don't know how it'll work with that. With a new
If so, we
character.
need to jump into each other. Maybe you can help me with my game or something.
Yeah.
And, we can work on my talismans or something.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
But a lot of Dragon's Crown, and I've also been playing the last couple of days a lot of Hotline Miami and Cinemora.
Really? On your Vita?
Yeah, I've been playing the Vita a lot lately.
Holy shit. I can't believe it. I thought I played it more than you when I first got it.
Shit. But yeah, I've been really enjoying Cinemora a lot, surprisingly, because I looked at the trailers for it when it was first getting ready to come out, and I was a little bit iffy on it because of the art style. I'm not really big on the whole furry deal, but
what game is that? Oh, that's that
Cinemora. That's that
shooter
side-scrolling
right?
shooter one. Yeah, it's like it plays a lot like Gradius, and
yeah, I played it on my Vita, and I have it on PC too. I got it from some indie bundle, but I ended up deleting it off of my Vita because I don't know why. I think I needed room. So
yeah, it's kind of a mix between Gradius and Ikaruga because it's like a crazy bullet hell kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
And
I played it up to just like some sea level or something where you had to go under the water and
yeah, that's a couple levels in.
Yeah, I didn't get too far.
Yeah, but yeah, the story is actually surprisingly really good. It's dark, and you wouldn't think it would be that dark from just the art style with the furry characters. But I think there's something about one of the main characters got raped or something like that, and it's pretty heavy stuff. And then Hotline Miami. Anybody who's heard of that in the last couple of years knows what that's about. And it's crazy.
I know our buddy Heath is all about that game. Well, last year he was. I love it too. I'm stuck though. I can't get any further.
It's a difficult game.
Oh my god,
it's like no room for error. Like, one hit shots, you're dead.
I remember one level. It's like I think level 10 or 12 or something, or 10 or 12, 10, 11 or 12, one of those levels. I just kept on going in at the very beginning and just dying, because I couldn't get the movements right. I don't know. It was just like, screw this.
What I really like about it, though, is how quick it is. It's like with Super Meat Boy, you die and immediately you're right back into it. And so there's no loading screen after each death, and it's really quick. So.
Got to make it to that second level in the house or whatever, so you have a checkpoint.
Yeah,
sucks the first area.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing. That, and I've been hitting the books a lot.
Hitting the books,
studying for my staff test.
In your face.
Yep.
Bam. Cool. Well, up next we got Topic Attack, and Chris is going to lead us into that. So, so hang around after this break, and the fancy tunes. We'll be back. Yeah.
I was part of the Army's Force 21 trials.
Force 21? That's about tactical IT deployment, right? Any field experience?
No, not really.
So this is your first.
I've had extensive training, the kind that's indistinguishable from the real thing.
Like what?
Sneaking mission 60, weapons 80, advanced...
VR, huh?
But realistic in every way.
A virtual grunt of the digital age, that's just great.
That's far more effective than live exercises.
You don't get injured in VR, do you? Every year a few soldiers die in field exercises.
There's pain sensation in VR and even a sense of reality and urgency. The only difference is it isn't actually happening.
That's the way they want you to think, to remove you from the fear that goes with battle situations. War is a video game. What better way to raise the ultimate soldier?
So, everyone and their dog seems to be coming out with a VR headset nowadays.
Yeah, me too. I'm announcing Technicolor Syndicate's first VR unit called the Podcast Rift Oculus Morpheus Sony Notch is a douchebag Rift.
That's a mouthful. We might have to work on that name.
Okay, Notch is a douchebag. Okay, we'll stick with that. I'll explain myself later.
So Oculus has just come out with their new dev kit for the Rift, the DK2. Really simple name. Not a whole lot different from the first one, but it's got a new camera for positional tracking. It's got a camera. It's similar to the PlayStation Eye or the Kinect from Microsoft. It's got a low persistence OLED display, which is going to help to reduce the motion blur and judder is what it's called, I guess.
Judders.
It's going to help to get rid of the. It's going to help to get rid of the motion sickness. It's been giving a lot of people problems with it.
I don't know if I haven't used one of these, but I still think you might get the case of the judders and the motion sicknesses.
Yeah. It's also got a built-in latency tester. So it says you have a real-time microsecond precision measurement of motion to photon latency, which lets you optimize your VR experience. It's from the website.
I like the word photon, so
I do. I guess it's just kind of an optimized thing, similar to what's it called, the GeForce experience, where you can kind of tweak with the stuff and get it to where you want it to be. It's got a new Oculus SDK that includes engine integration for the Unreal Dev Kit, Unreal 4, and Unity 4 engines.
Which that's really good because those are the two top game engines right now. Unity is just kicking ass, and taking names, and everyone's talking about the Unreal 4 engine, and I can't wait to see more from it.
Yeah.
And if it's supporting everything that the Unreal 4 can do, that's going to be fantastic too.
Yeah. For OS support, it's standard Windows, Mac OS, and then Linux, of course. And the cost is $350 for this headset, but it's still not a consumer product. So don't go into this thing buying it and expect it to be a final product. It's still intended for developers to mess around with.
Just like the first one. And anybody that's interested in Oculus Rift, I know there were some people who are like, I can't believe I bought this. It's such a ripoff.
Yeah.
It wasn't intended for you as a gamer right now. It's going to be way down the line,
Yeah.
With DevKit 2. I mean, when did DevKit 1 come out? Just last year?
Yeah, I think it was
It was in 2013, and at the beginning of the year, I think. But DevKit 2 coming out will just... I don't know, man. I'm thinking it will be out soon-ish. We'll see.
Yeah, I think it's going to be probably by the end of this year.
End of this year, the actual, standalone Oculus Rift, no developer ties. It's just, what's hopefully maybe Christmas or something? Because I want
Possibly.
one.
Yeah. And the reason that we think it's going to be coming out pretty soon, possibly even sooner than Christmas, because Facebook, and this has been blowing up the news in the last couple of days, Facebook has just acquired Oculus VR, the company behind the Rift, for $2 billion.
The company, not just the social network. A lot of people are, misinterpreting that. Facebook, the company, which they own a lot of businesses, actually, and I don't have the full list.
Yeah, they just recently bought what was it, Snapchat? Or no, it was Instagram they just bought, and then WhatsApp, I think, is the other one that they have. And then they also buy PopCap or something. No, that was PopCap. It was
they've
Zynga,
bought a lot of stuff. There's a huge list that Facebook has bought, and they've actually boosted those companies, and without actually saying, hey, we're going to mess with you and mess with everything you do. No, they let most of those companies do everything they need to do. They don't.
Yeah.
They're not like let's say a game company that absorbs another game company and says, oh, we're changing this, and this, and this. No.
Yeah.
They kind of let those companies do whatever the hell they want.
Yeah. So this deal is expected to close in the second quarter of this year, and their plans with Oculus VR are to basically just to give them like a boost in their growth in the gaming industry, and also expanding the Rift's use but beyond gaming into like communication, education, and other kinds of media and so forth. And last couple of days has been all over the news, and it's been kind of mixed reactions from the gaming community, and mostly negative. The mostly negative. The most vocal
it's negative from it's negative from the people that are the same people that just don't like change. They don't like anything. The same people that talk shit about Mass Effect 3's ending, going, "Oh my God, Revolution! We needed this change." It's the internet, the angry freaking internet. And I'm so sick of hearing it because it's not the end of the world. Because just because Facebook's name, their company name, is on something doesn't mean you can uproar and say, "Oh, down with this product. I don't want to use it."
it's the vocal minority, which is the same for most uproars when this kind of thing happens.
And then we had our gaming celebrities take pop shots at it. Like Notch, whatever his real name is, that is Minecraft's leader, which I don't even care if I don't know his real name. So screw you guys. He decided to make a statement to say that he was canceling his plans with Minecraft with Oculus Rift. Yep. And because it's what was his words? Because it was scary, or they were creepy. That's what it was.
He tweeted he posted on his Twitter account. He says their motors are too unclear and shifting, talking about Facebook, and they haven't historically been a stable platform. There's nothing about their history that makes me trust them, and that makes them seem creepy to me.
Yeah, so he's dropping full support with Oculus Rift with Minecraft, which is just a middle finger to your fans that you're not going to support the Oculus Rift with Minecraft, which is a bad move. It really is.
Well, I'm sure there's still going to be, unofficial things.
So there's going to be mods, and basically he's this is why I'm so angry. He shuns them off, but he's making the mod groups and the fans do all the work now. You know, because he thinks it's creepy. I'm sick of that, that celebrity crap where people throw little hissy fits just because they don't like something like that. I mean, it's his opinion, but still, I think it's a very childish move, honestly. So.
Yeah, and we're not saying he can't have his opinion, because that's definitely it's whatever.
He can have it, but he's
going to do what he wants to do. But coming from him, a lot of people in the gaming community look up to him as some kind of like a celebrity or an idol or something, and so his words, whether we like it or not, have a ton of weight, and so that
to his followers or his
followers
fans or whatever you want to call them, yeah.
So him going out there and saying all kinds of stuff like that is just it seems
unprofessional,
childish and unprofessional. Yeah,
it is. It's very unprofessional, and I wish some of these game developers wouldn't have a huge head like this, just support things, who cares? He said he was never going to support Microsoft, but yet Minecraft is on Xbox 360 and coming to Xbox One.
Yep.
So I don't know. That's my rant.
I feel like because he came out and said that, and that a lot of all the backlash from everyone else is like all the fans and whatever.
It's worse now.
Is because of him and what he's saying, and it's just making it so much worse, way more worse than it needs to be. And so Mark Zuckerberg went on his own personal Facebook page to kind of clear the air a little bit. He says, just a little bit of a snippet from that post, "We're going to focus on helping Oculus build out their product and develop partnerships to support more games. Oculus will continue operating independently within Facebook to achieve this." Basically saying they're not going to, interfere and say, you need to do it this way, and you need to have all this Facebook integration, and, we're going to change everything you're doing.
The reason Mark Zuckerberg dumped $2 billion on this project is because, he even quoted this, or this is quote unquote what he said, because he thought it looked like a cool thing to, proceed on with, a cool technology to fund. He wants it to benefit society. He wants, gamers to enjoy it. He wants, educational values to come out of it, and it's all there. The Oculus Rift has always been about that. It's not just for gaming, it's for simulations, it's for everything. It's really cool.
Yeah. What people are worried about is that they're going to try to divert it away from its core gaming, goals or whatever. And that's, whether you want to believe it or not, that's what he's saying. He's not going to mess with it. They're still going to do their own thing. It's Oculus
Rift needed a company behind it that's going to fund it, and I think even the Oculus Rift crew that said they didn't want to be a part of like Microsoft or Apple, where they get absorbed into the company, and then those companies rip them apart from the inside and just do whatever the hell they want to. And I don't think that's the Facebook company's intention. I think they just want to help out, and they think it's a cool future for technology, because hell, dude, VR is becoming more and more popular. Back in the early 90s, it wasn't popular. It tried to be popular, but the technology was not there.
Yeah.
So now it is, and everyone's being interested in it, and it is a big cash cow right there,
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And a lot of people are mad because they gave money to the Kickstarter back whenever, and
which funded the first Oculus Rift, not the second one.
Yeah. And I guess they feel like they should get like a piece of the pie or whatever, and so with Facebook buying them, they're not going to see any of that, and so they're kind of bitter about it. I think because one comment I saw on it was likening it to if you gave your friend $50 in a casino and he won $1 million, and he only paid you, the $50 that you gave him, legally he shouldn't have to pay you any more than that, but morally and ethically he should give you a little bit more. Just
I don't
that money.
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all.
No.
I think anybody that funded the Kickstarter should be glad that they brought a virtual reality revolution to us. And next up we're talking about something even it's going to be cool for the consoles, or at least one console. But I mean, these Kickstarter people, they're greedy. A
lot of them, I think they really misunderstand, and they still do, what Kickstarter actually is. Like a lot of people go into it and they think it's like a store, but but it's really not. They're everybody who donated or whatever who contributed, they got their perk rewards, and that's where it should end. That's where it should end. Really, they got what they paid for, which was the perks and the dev kits and whatever. Which half of them probably aren't even, more than half, I'm sure, aren't even devs and didn't really have anything to do with it. And so
they think it's trickery, and I hope. I really hope society can wise up and not think this way anymore. But I guess this is the way it is, and we'll see more backlash as the weeks progress. But eventually, everyone's going to forget, and everyone's going to still buy the Oculus Rift when it comes out, and it doesn't matter.
Really, I think this is probably the best thing possible that could have happened to them, because with all this money that they're getting now from Facebook, they're going to be able to come out with this thing sooner, cheaper. They're going to have like ridiculous resources to make this thing, what they really want it to be.
Yep.
So,
and
awesome.
Facebook, it's a good business move. It really is, acquiring this and letting them do whatever they want, and then getting extra money for it. That just makes them a great business partner. And it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out. And I can't wait to see all these people that are anti, Oculus Rift eat their words when it just, it blows their mind. It takes away from their company because, they said something stupid, And I want to say I love Minecraft, but I just wish, and I know I was like a little negative at the beginning about Notch sucks. Notch is a douchebag. I just don't think there's room to talk with that kind of stuff. So next up, though, we're going to be talking about the Sony Morpheus, right? Is that what it's called? Oh, man.
Last week at the Game Developers Conference, Sony came out with a freaking bombshell. They're coming out with their own VR. This thing apparently has been in development for the last 3 years.
I've heard very little things about it, Sony creating a VR unit, and it was before I heard about the Oculus Rift, actually, and I was like, VR, this is going to be shitty,
Yeah. They showed off some of their earlier attempts with it. They had like a first-person mod for God of War. They had the Move controllers, and that seems pretty interesting. But
they had Move controllers attached to their head, and it looked really weird. So.
Yeah, but the Morpheus is going to be integrated with the PlayStation camera, it's going to be with the PS4, of course, and also with the Move. So it's got speakers inside of it that has it says 3D audio technology that creates positional sound, which is more or less like surround sound. So you're going to hear like footsteps walking up the stairs behind you, or helicopters flying around over.
I'd still rather have some headphones attached to my ears than it having, noise surrounding my body, because, if I'm wanting to play this in the living room while other people are watching TV, I can be looking around like a crazy person, screaming, "Oh my God!"
And with the Move controllers, you're going to be able to see your your hands and your weapons in the game.
Yeah.
So a lot of cool stuff with that. And
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm interested to see if like how well it's going to pair up with like that plastic gun attachment that they came out with. What was it, the SOCOM 4 that came out?
The $40 gun attachment that we bought that we never use.
Yeah, I think I tried it once for like 5 minutes and put it away.
I still have it. It's a cool thing.
I've got it too, and I'm with this now. I'm probably going to hold on to it just to see how well it'll work.
I run around the house with it sometimes, and play Spec Ops
when nobody's home.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically. But yeah, I want to see how this is gonna pan out with the headset and the move and stuff, because if that'll help out a lot with with the aiming and stuff,
yeah,
then it'll just make it a lot better. Because I didn't really care for how aiming worked out on like Killzone and stuff with the move. It didn't really work for me.
Now, a lot of the developers that have tried this out have said it's completely compared up to the Oculus Rift for consoles, and that's fantastic news, because there was no talk about them bringing the Oculus Rift to consoles just yet, because it's been just a PC only, Mac and PC and Linux only thing. But it makes me wonder now with Facebook's buying them, maybe they might branch out a little bit more. Maybe I don't think Microsoft will touch it, but we'll see what happens. But this one, I mean, Sony exclusive, it's going to be just for the PS4.
Yep. And another cool thing that they were talking about is the social screen is basically it's going to be what the Vita already does to it. It's going to mirror the headset image onto your TV, so that people around the room can watch and see what you're seeing as well. And potentially, it could also allow for the asymmetrical gaming, which is kind of like what the Wii U already does with games like Nintendo Land. So theoretically, you could have one person wearing the headset, and then everybody else is looking at the TV, and they're trying to mess with they're trying to mess with the guy wearing the headset, and like put traps and stuff for him.
I want to play a monster game like that, where you're playing the monster with the virtual reality headset. Oh man, that would be awesome.
Or like the other people are playing the monsters and you're trying to like escape and survive.
Run away. Oh my god, the good survival horror game.
Scary.
Get on it, Sony. You have to. It's our idea. We have to be lead developers on it.
You need to bring what's that game called? Damned. You need to bring that to it.
Oh my god.
That'd be crazy.
I've screamed like a little bitch on that game. Ask Mike Ross. Yeah, he was laughing his ass off.
I still haven't gotten a chance to play it.
You bought it and never played it with us.
Because I couldn't get it to work.
Well, it was an alpha, to be fair. So.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what's going on with Sony's thing, and there's not a price for it or a release date for it yet, but seems pretty cool. And
they'll probably keep it under under the console price, honestly. Yeah. I'm guessing.
I think it'll probably be around the same price as the camera. What's the camera, like $150?
Oh, I don't think, no. Virtual reality headset's probably going to be around $200, $299. It's going to be a very expensive accessory. It's kind of like if you break your Wii U gamepad, that's like $200,
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's how much it's going to be.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, with the technology, yeah, it probably would have to be a little bit more expensive for them to make money on it. But you'd think they kind of would want to kind of make it to where it'd be more accessible, like with price wise, because they want people to use this stuff, and if it costs too much, nobody's going to want to buy it. And it's, same goes with the Rift and that whole thing. But
I'd pay $200. I'd pay $199 to $299 for these headsets.
Yeah, definitely. You and I would, the hardcore gamers and stuff, but they want to get the average Joe to pick this thing up and mess around with it too. And if they have it too high, I don't know if it's going to work out.
Hopefully they can get the right parts that are cheap enough to build that's not going to lose out on the quality. Like say, the Vitas right now, the new ones that are going to come out have an LCD screen now, when the old ones that we have an OLED screen. And it's so much better than the LCD screen. I don't want to go back to LCD screen,
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see what kind of screen they're going to have in this thing. Did we have the specs on that one?
I don't think they had too much of it. I think the most they said was I think it was going to be the same resolution, like the 960 or by 1080 or whatever it was as the Rift, but where that one has like I think it was 100-degree field of view. I think the
Yeah.
Morpheus only has like 90, and
It-
I don't know if it's going to make that much of a difference.
It's
honestly.
going to be interesting to see, since the consumers can already buy the Oculus Rift, and even people that aren't developers, which, like I said, we don't recommend that. You're going to have more of a hands-on experience with the Oculus Rift when the Sony Morpheus comes out, or Sony Project Morpheus. We're not really going to see anything until it comes out, completely,
Yeah.
out of beta, because no users are going to get to use this other than the developers at the studios, and it's going to be a lot of Sony companies,
Yeah.
or Sony developers. So I'm wondering how this is going to go on hype level, and if they're going to be able to sell it correctly. Is it going to be like the first year of the Vita where it just didn't sell good?
Yeah. I don't know. Like I
They
said, they
have
have
a-
the price.
They have a lot to compete with, but at the same time, with Oculus Rift coming out, it's gonna, people that don't have a PC or don't game on PC, they're gonna have an excuse to get a VR technology for their console.
Yeah.
And all it's left is, Microsoft could be like, "Hey, we're coming out with the Xbox virtual reality unit that costs $90,000 of microtransactions." No,
I think
I'm
they've
just
actually like a few days, or either a few days or like the day after the Sony came out with their thing, Microsoft was saying, "Yeah, we've been working on that kind of thing too.
Yeah,
we might
yeah,
have
and
something."
There's other companies like Razer is talking about
Yeah.
having their own. Of course, Razer would. I'm not a big fan of their company, but
Like I said, every one of the dogs coming out with a VR thing now.
Yep.
And so
you're going to
it's-
see it over the next few years. You're going to see just a booming thing, and I don't think it's going to be as bad as the 3D, boom that we had for
Yeah.
how many years now. I think this will actually make an impact for technology and gaming. I think.
Yeah.
We're going to be sitting in our living room, not talking to each other with virtual reality headsets.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'll tell you one thing though. One thing that I do like the Morpheus over the Rift, I really like how it looks. Like from what they've shown already, it's probably still like the prototype.
It looks
whatever thing.
futuristic.
It does. It looks really slick
Yeah.
and futuristic and cool, and it's like something George LaForge might wear on Star Trek.
I don't want to be tricked by that design though.
Yeah.
I mean, the developers have already came out and said, "Hey, man, this thing's awesome." Like I said, they compared it, saying it compares to the Rift at some points. So,
Yeah.
I think it'll be cool, and I think even with the Oculus Rift, since it's in the in essential dev beta 2, I think the final product will be a little more sleeker. It
Yeah.
looks nice, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So, for speculation and stuff, what do you think is going to be possible from like the Rift and the Morpheus and whatever everybody else is coming out with? And like, what do you hope to see from those kind of things?
I think it will be a fun thing to use for gaming, but I also want people that can experience things like a paraplegic, or someone that can't experience too much, or someone that is paralyzed from the waist down and they have to sit in their house all day or whatever. I'm hoping this will get them into a virtual world that they can explore and have fun and walk around and socialize. I mean, shoot, have like a Second Life or MMORPG, game that's gonna put you in where you can socialize and have fun,
Yeah.
and be in a virtual world. I mean, that's kind of what they wanted to do back in the 90s, is get you into a virtual reality world, that you could feel like you're in the future, that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. I think it's going to get to the point where we have these in the next 10 years. We're going to be in total virtual reality where we feel like we're in a different world, a different life, a fantasy world. We talked about the Oculus Rift before, back with the Minecraft mod, them looking up in a pixelated gigantic world and looking up and feeling so tiny.
Yeah.
I think it's going to help with gaming. I think it's going to help with educational things. I mean, hey man, you want to be a sperm in a sex simulator? No, that would be kind of weird. But
Someone's gonna make that now.
think of something like this. You could be a blood cell, and it's an educational, tour into the body as a blood cell.
Yeah.
A white or a red blood cell, and you get to see everything from the blood cell's perspective. Let's say that would be a good educational thing to do for schools or, educational buildings like they have the Discovery Zone buildings for kids and stuff like that. That'd be
Yeah.
fantastic. There's already a game. You could call it a game. It's a simulator of a diving simulator where you take photos, but it's using the Oculus Rift, and it is really cool. It's really slick. So you feel like you're diving under the sea. I mean, we're going to be able to escape reality with this thing, and that's what it's for.
Yeah, Sony had a few demonstrations too with their thing. They had like a Shark Tank thing where you were sitting in a cage, and then like a shark would come out and mess with the cage, and people were like getting freaked out by it, like thinking they were underwater with this shark and it was going to get them. And then there was another one. I think they were actually sitting on like a little elevator thing, and then like in the game or whatever, it was what's it called, Westeros? Yeah, for the Game of Thrones universe, they were going up the elevator like on the ice wall, and like they were feeling like they were on that elevator, and just it was
That's
just nuts.
crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many possibilities of it. It's not just about gaming. It's about educational value too. I mean, for the Sony's Morpheus, it's going to be mostly focused on gaming. I want to say they'll probably have some cool apps on their system, but with the Oculus Rift, anybody that's third party, indie developer, AAA developer, or whoever can make whatever they want for it.
Yeah.
And hopefully maybe Sony might take notice to that and allow the Morpheus to be on PC as well,
That'd be interesting.
Give options. I mean, everyone loves options, for the people that hate Oculus Rift because of Facebook now, maybe they'll have the option to use the Morpheus, let's just say,
Yeah. Probably not so much with the Morpheus, since that's only going to be a PS4 thing, but particularly with the Rift, I would like to see the gaming stuff, of course, but besides that, I want to see something like with like what they're doing on Mars with the rover and stuff right now, like
space simulations and
not even simulations, like actually controlling like the robot or whatever on Mars and being able to look around and like see what the rover is seeing and being able to control it.
That would be
see
what's
very
going
on
cool.
with it.
Yeah, that would be a very cool thing for NASA or any of the other companies. Companies that are doing space stuff right now. So,
and of course, you can have the like your medical uses as well. You can, like, as a surgeon, you could use that, and instead of having to watch the screen or whatever like they have right now with the cameras, like you still have the little cameras in there, but you'll be able to actually see, what's actually going on inside the body that you're working on.
That would be fantastic.
That kind of thing would be really cool.
Yeah, it would.
So do you think that this whole VR thing, is it going to be like the next big thing, or is it the future of gaming, or do you think it's just going to be like another little gimmicky fad kind of thing, like with the whole 3D and the motion controls and like the second screen thing that everybody's doing now?
At first, I thought it was going to be gimmicky, but I really don't think it. I think it's going to be a part of us now. I think it's going to be a part of us in gaming, PC gaming, even console gaming now. And then also the educational stuff too.
Yeah,
I think it's going to just branch off and blow up, dude. I really think that's what's going to happen. I don't think it's going to replace the entertainment center for the TV, because everyone still loves having a TV in their house. But it's a good, it's a good leap towards the future.
Yeah.
Who knows? In 2020, we might be in a hologram world like Star Trek, and the holodeck. Yeah. You never know. I mean, this is just leading into we're going to see some stuff that are just completely unreal,
Yeah. I want to be that optimistic too, but I'm it's definitely something just completely ridiculous and awesome, and I can't wait to see more from it. But it's really, I don't know, it's hard to say. It's really dependent on how they pull it off.
It's in its baby stages right now, basically,
yeah.
and I kind of feel the same way too. It's just.
I think that it could have really taken off, back in the 90s when it was first starting to come out, but just the technology wasn't there yet. It was way ahead of its time. And so now that we have just this awesome tech right now. I think it'll probably take off a lot better.
Definitely.
So, it's getting really crazy how immersive some of these things are right now, like with the Westeros elevator and the Shark Tank and all that. People are like, they're thinking they're in these game worlds, and it's like freaking people out when they're doing it. How much immersion do you think is too much? Like, to where it's, this is the line. Any further than this is just too much. We can't deal with it.
Well, I mean, from our past movies that we've watched, you ever seen the movie Gamer?
Yep.
Not a great actually, no, that's a great example. What if it gets to the point where you're controlling people with the vision, looking at, you're playing as a AI unit or something, but it's actual reality. What if somebody does something like that? Or what if, I mentioned Second Life earlier. I'm not a big fan of it because a lot of things don't come out of it, but a lot of people like it. What if there's a sex simulator that just...
Oh, there will be, guaranteed.
There will be, but I mean, what's crossing the line eventually with it? Will people get wrapped up in the virtual reality units? And we've talked about this before on the show, so much that they lose touch with reality.
Yeah.
Will it destroy families? Will it destroy, lives, loved ones, everything, by someone being so absorbed in this thing or these things that, it causes them to be, a freaking technology drone,
Yeah.
And I think it's such a cool thing to have, but there's going to be problems with it. Definitely.
Yeah. Like you were saying with Second Life, and like even, normal MMOs like EverQuest and stuff, like people have, like with EverQuest, I think in particular, people have just sat there playing it for days and days and just starved to death because they're so addicted. Now with this VR thing coming out, they're going to get even more immersed in the game, and they're just, I don't want to be all doom and gloom about it, but I definitely can see it happening. Like they're getting too absorbed in the Second Life and all that, and they're just not going to want to come out of their house or anything.
I think it's going to get worse with this, but I also think it's going to stay pretty much what we have right now.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be right in the middle where there's people that put it down. They're not completely absorbed into it. But then again, I look at modern phones right now with how people act with them. No one will put their freaking phone down at dinner time. They'll just stay on their phone. I'm wondering.
Talked about this too, didn't we?
Yeah, we did talk. We're kind of talking about all that. But I think it will get bad. But I think it will stay in that mutual side. That very in the middle. Separating those people with the people that give a crap about reality and only use it for fun and entertainment.
Yeah.
And then there'll be people that are very dependent on it. So
yeah, hopefully people will try to be responsible with it and not let it rule their lives.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So there's so many possibilities, guys. I want you guys on our Facebook or our Twitter or anything. Email us what you guys think about this. What are your views? Do you think I'm an asshole for calling Notch an asshole? Let us know what your feedback is about this subject, because it's very interesting, and you're going to see such a huge jump in technology after this comes out. Everything, is going to change. Up next after this break, we got Alan's Tech Corner. We're going to be talking about 3D printed houses. So stay tuned. All right, on Alan's Tech Corner today, we have a very cool discussion. 3D printed houses. And what? Deja vu. Who would have thought we would be 3D printing houses? I didn't.
It's nuts.
3D printers have been just, booming lately, and we we've seen so many companies coming out with high quality ones. You know, this can make this kind of plastic. This can make a gun. This can do this. You know,
Yeah.
and there's all these blueprints out there for the 3D printers, and I'm fascinated by it. I just don't have all that money to drop on one.
Yeah, they're a bit pricey.
Yeah, they are. Project 3D Print Canal is a 3D printing house thingy. Ultimaker's making the printer for this, and basically it's printed out. The article that I got this off CNET. Basically, it's a super-sized version of the popular in-home 3D printer made by Ultimaker, and it's made by a Dutch architectural firm, DUS. DUS commissioned the machine when it was decided to take the scale model rooms. It was already in 3D printing and make it a bigger version of it.
Yeah.
So that's unreal, man. It's I'm looking at the picture right now, and they've made a wall with a leading up staircase so far, I guess. And what do you think about this?
I think it is just completely ridiculous and amazing and awesome, and I want it.
I mean, this could be the new way to get a whole subdivision built,
Yeah.
as long as the quality's up there.
Yeah, and it'll probably be faster than what
The kit
we're already
houses
doing.
and yeah.
Like the way it works, I guess they print out just these little pieces and they all just kind of snap together like Legos, and you're just building this house, and it looks really cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's just insane. And if anybody has messed with a 3D printer or seen one, they're so damn precise because they're programmed to be precise,
Yeah.
And I mean, they'll make the little, indentions or, detail to the plastic or whatever,
Yeah,
And-
the material that they're using for the building pieces, it's like a honeycomb type thing, and they're
Mhm.
gonna fill it with some kind of foam. It's supposed to get hard as concrete, and it's gonna support and wait for the house when it's finished.
It's crazy.
So it's really really cool. I can't wait to see more of this kind of stuff.
So do you think that we're going to be, living in 3D printed houses as the future progresses? Like in 2020, or all houses going to be 3D printer houses?
It's
I mean-
definitely possible. Like it did. Do you think it might be maybe cheaper? doing
It would
this
be
way
cheaper,
than-
but it would also affect the industry for the people that build houses and the companies that supply the wood and everything. But
Goddamn
we-
robots took our gerbs.
we would be getting rid of a need for building houses out of wood.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are like, why would we do that? And I'm not going to get all environmental on you, but yeah, it would be a good step in the right direction of not using up all our resources on this damn planet. But it's a good alternative, and I think it won't catch on because it's probably really expensive to do right now. And I
Rich
mean,
people are probably going to be doing this for a while.
and it's so far away right now, and I could see a booming market for those smaller houses. Have you seen the whole
Like the single room, like tiny house kind of thing.
Those are cool, man. Call me a hipster if you want.
They're kind of cool. I don't know if I would want to live in one though.
Not for us, because we're we have pretty big families. for
Well,
the
even
most
if I
part.
was single, I don't know if I could do it. That's just. I think I would need a little bit more space than those things.
right,
But
there's still
people
like
who do like those things, I could see this being pretty cool for them.
I mean, this thing could make trailers in a sense too.
Yeah.
That people live in. I mean, it could be, dude. It could be awesome. Your house gets blown down by a hurricane? Guess what? 3D printer houses are in town. Sponsored by FEMA. We are going to kill you one day. No. If you want to look at the article, just go on CNET, and it's the headline of the article is "Giant 3D Printer Starts Spitting Out a House."
Yeah, you can actually, if you are in the Amsterdam area, I think you can actually go and watch as this thing is being built.
Mhm.
So, pretty cool.
It is pretty cool, and I can't wait to see more of it. That's just a little bit of a tech corner. We didn't have too much since we discussed a majority of the episode was technology, but Tell us again, tell us what you guys think of 3D printed houses. Are you for them? Are you against them? Do you not care?
That's about going to wrap it up for the show. So, what are you going to be up to this weekend, Mike?
Diablo
Yeah, me too, probably.
and dreaming about WildStar. I miss it, man. After I found my class, I found my character. I'm ready to go when it goes live in June.
Yeah.
So excited.
Well, we both pre-ordered it, so we're going to be able to do all the beta weekends. Are you going to be doing it, or do you think you're going to just kind of wait and see for the release and try not to burn yourself out in the betas?
I'm still
I know that
gonna
happens.
honestly, I'm still gonna mess around with the beta because I wanted to get my. I never got a chance to get my character up this past weekend to get its house. I've been. You can get housing in that game. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah, I heard you guys talking about it. I was
Yeah.
trying to get it working.
It's pretty detailed housing too, but I'm excited for that.
I'm definitely
Yeah.
going to be picking it up too, like doing the betas, because I only played for probably an hour and a half when I finally got it working.
Because you had problems with your account.
Yeah, they had some issues with like their register, and you couldn't like get the emails or whatever. But
Actually, the biggest thing, if anybody's coming into this, make sure your password is complex because apparently that's big.
yeah, what I found in the forums that I ended up having to do, and I put the @ symbol at the end of my password, and so I just did my normal password with 2 of those @ things, and that
Okay,
worked,
so so penis @ sign. All right,
Yeah.
that's Chris's password.
Shh, that's secret. Now I gotta change all my passwords.
Penis 123 @ sign.
Damn it! Oh my god, shut up. You're gonna have people hacking into my bank accounts.
Oh god.
I'm probably gonna be doing a lot of Diablo 2. I haven't
Diablo
gotten
2?
no, Diablo 3.
Diablo 2. No, we're
Diablo
gonna,
as well.
No, screw Diablo 3. That game sucks. Let's play Diablo 2.
That's what a lot of people are feeling still from last year when 3 first came out. And
Yeah, and they can shut up because this game's awesome.
yeah, it's gotten way better since it first came out. They did away with the auction house, which is fantastic. I love it. And
Yep. And
they fixed the loot.
And it doesn't lag. It doesn't have any issues, and you get legendaries like a lot.
Not exactly like candy. Like for the first couple of for that weekend when we were playing with Greg, it was they were dropping pretty much like candy, but there was like a kind of like a promotion deal because they wanted to get everybody geared up for the Act 5 and stuff. But,
Oh, and I geared up, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls, I'm pretty far into the storyline right now, and I'll probably try to beat it tonight. But man, it's good. It's definitely good. I want to mess around with the adventure mode, but you can't unlock that until you beat the Act 5. So
I haven't gotten to try the Crusader yet. What do you think of him?
OP as hell. Yeah, I like it though. I like him. He's definitely dude, barbarian what now? Like seriously, the Crusader's the shit. I like.
Did you ever play a Paladin in Diablo 2?
Oh hell yeah, dude! Alan and I, we played. I played a Paladin. I forgot. I think he was like a wizard or something. But I played the Paladin when I played Diablo 2 for the first time, which was just a few years ago.
How does the Crusader match up to the Paladin? You think it's?
It has some of the same moves, but not all. I mean, it's different. It still has Diablo 3 style of gameplay. But with you able to mix and match buttons and everything. But
yeah,
dude, one move that I love, or it's a skill. What are those called? A passive skill.
Yeah,
is you can hold a 2-handed weapon, such a 2-handed sword, in one hand.
And that's only the Crusader that can do that.
Yeah,
that's nuts.
I
remember that was a barbarian thing.
It was in
2.
Yeah, it was in 2, but they didn't put it in barbarians. All barbarians do in 3 is hold 2 weapons, or a 2-handed weapon, or a sword and shield. So
yeah,
And it's awesome to have a gigantic shield and then this two-handed weapon with all this damage on it, dude. It's awesome.
Oh man, that sounds amazing. I wanna start grinding on Act 5 and playing the story, but I'm pretty excited about the class. I don't know what I want to do.
Do something. Play it.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else?
Oh, that's pretty much it, man.
Oh yeah, that's about it for us. You got any shout outs you want to give out?
Yeah, man. I want to give a shout out to my buddy Wyatt. He just had his mom pass away recently, and I wanted to tell him, I'm here for you, man. And I know he's one of our listeners and a close friend of mine. I worked with him, and I want to wish him the best. And I want people to know that his mom meant a lot to him and meant a lot to everyone that knew her. And then also, I want to give a shout out to First World Podcast, of course. Who are they? Do you know who are they, Chris?
I never heard of them. They
First
sound
World
kind of cool.
Podcast. Yeah. You can find them at www.fwpodcast.com, and they have an awesome show about gaming, and it's three guys and a gal talking about all sorts of cool stuff of gaming, and they've been throwing out some really cool segments recently. So
yeah, they just their new one, they did a wild card thing where they did what was it, like 10 minutes? They would just talk about whatever, and then they would switch to the next thing.
Yeah,
it was really cool.
It's awesome.
I like this.
Check out that show. Do it.
Cool stuff.
Chris, what do you got?
I'm gonna go ahead and give a shout out to my awesome wife Amy, because she puts up with this bullshit every time. I gotta lock myself up in the basement and not help her with the baby.
It's all good.
So shout out to Amy for letting me do this. And
awesome.
Yeah. And also, I'm going to go ahead and shout out your dad, Mike, for kind of running the show behind the scenes. He keeps our website up and running and lets us kind of do our thing. Gives us resources. You can follow us on Twitter. We have our own personal ones. Mike's MBuffTES and I'm CStewTES. We still have those. But we also have our main show podcast. It's Tech ES Podcast. So check us out on Twitter. And then we've also got our Facebook, of course, website, emeraldcoastproductions.com. Subscribe on iTunes and check us out on YouTube. And then download the Stitcher Radio app on your phones. It's a really cool thing. I liked how I could listen to it on my phone, and then I could go to their website on the computer, and it would just pick up exactly where I left off on the phone.
It will save your life one day. Stitcher Radio.
Thanks for everyone for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Later. I mean, 3D printers have been a big, blow up over the past 3D printers have been blowing up in your houses and killing everyone.